Hello students, welcome to Communication Skills. The course code is 20EG01P. This video is being recorded as part of the lecture series of Communication Skills in the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. This is Prasanna Kumar, Senior Grade Lecturer in English. In this session, we are going to learn about one of the prime contents of unit number 3, verbal communication. So before going to the prime topic of the session, let's watch a narrative, a short video.
Hi, let me narrate to you an incident that happened a long ago. There was a popular company called Laksh and Charles Technopark Private Limited. Once, the MD was looking to hire the most suitable person for the position of a manager. He gave an advertisement in the media and received many responses. My friend, a well-qualified, skillful, and experienced, sent his resume also. He was much confident that he would receive a call letter for an interview, as well as a sure job. But he did not even get an interview call. My friend was so devastated that he never had such speculation at all. Even I was amazed that such a shrewd guy could not even get an interview call, and I was displeased. A few days later, I got to discern from a reliable source that his resume had not entered into the shortlist queue.
Yes, in this video, his friend was not shortlisted. I mean to say, he applied for a job, he hasn't got an interview call. The possible reason is, let us look at the next slide. So in this slide, we see the information provided by his friend all is in a cluttered form. It is not giving clarity, it seems vague, and the employer finds it very hard to read and get to know the specifics which the employer really needs. So without giving a second thought, his resume is rejected. Though he is qualified, though he is skillful, yet he was rejected because of this format. So in this session, we are going to learn about resume writing. So before going to the actual topic, let me take you to the outcomes. After attending this session, the learner will be able to comprehend the meaning and types of resumes. Secondly, the learner demonstrates the competency to differentiate between a correct and an incorrect resume. The third outcome, the learner will understand the parts of a good resume. At the end of the session, the learner demonstrates the ability to draft a resume, a correct resume, which will have a right format. The present session covers the following points. First one, meaning and types of a resume. Second one, the parts of a resume. And the third one, do's and don'ts in a resume. Firstly, let us understand what a resume is. A resume, which means a summary, it comes from French. A resume is a formal document that serves to show a person's career background and skills. In most cases, it is created to help a candidate land a new job. It works like your job hunt marketing document. It is used to itemize qualifications and skills for a particular position. We have understood what a resume is. Now let me tell you what a resume is not. A resume is not a log of your job history. It is not a summary of skills, and it is not going to automatically get you a job. So, a resume is a formal document which displays your qualifications and skills for a position. Now let's look at the types of resumes. The first one is a chronological resume, and the second one is a functional resume. We have many other types of resumes also, but still these two are prominent one which we use often. Let's understand what a chronological resume is. A chronological resume is a popular format used by many candidates. As we can understand by the name, a chronological resume focuses on the sequential history of work experience and education that are sorted under each role or job. This is mostly presented in reverse chronological sequence, as it starts with the recent first. This means that the resume will start with your current work and will go backward. This type of resume allows you to show your work history as well. In the chronological format resume, the flow of information would start from your name and contact information, resume summary, which can also be called as profile synopsis or summary. Then comes your employment details with complete tenure, name of the organization, and your designations in each organization. The second one is functional resume. So functional format is a skill-based resume. A functional resume focus on the recent skills and experience of a candidate rather than highlight your qualification or history of your qualification or history of your experience. In a functional resume, your skills and competencies are given more priority. People who have switched jobs very frequently or have changed career should ideally go with this format, as this does not emphasize on many organizations that you worked for. Instead, this you should highlight your key skills which you have gained while working with these organizations. So far we have looked into two types of resume formats. One is chronological resume, another one is functional resume, and we may be under confusion that which format we have to use. The best one is to choose a chronological resume format. The job seekers should go with the chronological resume format, rather functional resume. Rejection happens and it goes on and on until they find something interesting in one particular resume. This is the time when a well structured, clean and precise resume plays its part. You might be thinking, why is it to have the important parts in a resume? Let's find out. 7 parts of a resume. First one, name and address. So the name and address should be written on a resume. Secondly, professional profile summary, career objective or statement. So a career objective or statement is a clear and concise statement of the type of job you are seeking, the benefits of the company will gain by hiring you. So this is very instrumental in a resume. So the fourth point, work experience, it is also should have its own role in making your resume more effective and preferable by the employer. And education is the fifth part, and the sixth part is skills, and the last one is references. Importantly, note if you have experience, so that you can you can give some space in the resume to fill your experience. In case if you do not have experience, you are recently graduated, then you please prioritize education details at first, because you may not have the work experience. In addition to it, consider adding one of the resumes like certifications, awards and honors, volunteer works which you have undertaken, your hobbies and interest. Make sure that should be relevant to the job which you are applying for, and the conferences that you have attended, your publications, projects, and if you have any freelance work experience, so So you can also accommodate all of them in your resume. So these 7 parts are the part and parcel of a resume. So these must be accommodated properly, organized properly in the resume. Let us look at some of the do's and don'ts in a resume. So certain elements must be incorporated in our resume, and some of them must be avoided, must be rejected. What are they? Let us see. The first one, length of the resume. This is very important. Though they say that one-page resume is an ideal one, and there is no harm in making a 2-page resume, but make sure that all the important content is mentioned and highlighted in the first page itself. We know the reason. The reason is that the employer is busy, not have much time to go through 2 pages of information. So this is why, though your resume is of 2 pages, yet try to focus all important content to be maintained in the first page itself. The second point, spell check and review, no typos and grammatical errors, and proofread again. To keep your resume precise, focus on active language and reducing extra words. For example, instead of saying, I received the achievement of controller within 5 years of working for the company, say precisely, achieved controller within 5 years. This not only help you keep your resume brief, but also sticks out more to a hiring manager who may not spend much time reading each resume. Similarly, before you send a resume to an employer, proofread for grammatical errors and typos. An edited resume with no mistakes will make a good impression of potential employers and indicates that you are capable and pay attention to detail. The third one, as I've already mentioned you when I was discussing types of resumes, use chronological format and avoid functional resume format. Very importantly, stick to one font, either preferably Times New Roman or Arial. And very important one is that avoid unprofessional email ID. This is one of the reasons your resume can become an object of laughing. On many occasions, even I have come across some students having the mail IDs like cutiepie@gmail.com, loveyouforever@rediffmail.com, like that. So don't use such kind of unprofessional email IDs and try to use very professional email IDs commencing from your names, such as like that. So the next point, your resume should not look too crowded, so don't add too much information on your resume. In other words, your resume should contain information which is relevant and should be very precise. The next one, avoid too much personal information, because we have seen some resumes wherein they have mentioned their own name, though it has already been mentioned on the top: father's name, mother's name, their occupation, current address, permanent address, and stuff like that. But believe me, a recruiter has nothing to do with the personal information. So don't eat up the space of your resume with this information. So the next one, use one design graphic sparingly. So these days, because of the unprecedented growth in the science and technology, so we have lot of variety designs or graphics used in resume formats. It is better, and the best is that don't use very gaudy element of graphics. Use a very simple graphic. Okay, so that we have to bear in our mind. Next important one is update resume. I have seen some of our students keeps a resume, and the same resume is used for all different positions. It is wrong. In addition to it, one of my students has 1 year experience in one of the companies. What the resume is, he has prepared a year back, he has been using the same and not updating. So it is also incorrect. You please update the resume, because in updating resume you can add very relevant information in terms of experience as well as qualification. Next one, avoid personal pronouns. As you yourself or yourself is going to mention, it's your resume and there is no need, and don't give any room for personal pronouns like I, my and mine. So avoid them. Next important one is that unprofessional email ID. This is already we have discussed. Now let us see our resume. Isn't it impressive? It's impressive. The one resume which I showed you in the beginning and the one which I am showing at the end, please have a brief comparison and see to it what the difference, what is the difference, what made it stand different and all. So here the headlines, the heads of this particular resume are all in English, and the rest of them are in Latin. This is used deliberately just to show you that while formatting, how you have to organize your content. So what is written under the head is not important. The heading is important in the resume. So this is why I am showing you. So here I told you in the do's and don'ts that graphic. See, a very simple format with simple graphic, simple design. So no information is cluttered. It's 100% an uncluttered resume, which really attracts the employers, and the employer will not under any confusion. You will easily understand point to point information all displayed here, and surely this resume is a perfect one. And I have added the 7 parts here. In addition to it, you can build up the headings, and you can insert, and you can continue extending depending upon the requirement and relevance to the job which you are applying for. Let's recapitulate what we have covered, what we have learned so far. We have learned the meaning and types of a resume. We have learned an appropriate format of a resume. Then learned the method of organizing the content and draft an outline for a resume. I have enclosed MCQs to test your knowledge by attending this particular session. So I have inserted 10 MCQs. First, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 10 MCQs to test yourself. On each slide on each slide pause for some time, read the question carefully and tick the right answer on your notebook, and do the same process for all the questions, and at the end you can check and correct your answers matching with the answers provided by me. So thank you very much for attending this particular session. I am very grateful to the Office of the Commissioner for rendering me an opportunity in the LMS task. What's more is that this is my team. I extend my sincere thanks to our team who have guided me throughout this endeavor. So thank you one and all. Thank you so much.